Absolutely. Drew Titan Bronson on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. Smash the like button, like and share the video if you do choose to. And, I know I've touched on this topic in the past, but it bears repeating. But every time you touch on this topic, there's a lot of different views on it. And it keeps coming up. And I hear I deem them weird. I hear weird takes on it. And what I wanted to do is just ask a question in reference to the women that are single mothers by choice. I asked the question, what if there was no government assistance given to single mothers by choice? Now, I don't know if y'all are aware or not. There's a movement in reference to women being single mothers by choice, but usually that type of women, these are women with outstanding careers, making a strong amount of money monthly, or whatever they do, yearly, whatever. Sometimes those women are in the right financial status to do so, or they feel they are in the right financial status to do so. So they do it. I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about the women that lay and play, and when they decide, hey, I'm preggo. What if they look for support from the government, the good old-fashioned government? Mrs. I don't need no man, the good old-fashioned government. What happens when the government says, well, if they said, well, you decided to carry this child to term, the man, we've spoken to him and he chose not to, he's choosing not to be in your life or the child's life. This was your decision for whatever reason, religious reasons, and you're in your financial position and that was your choice. So you deal with it. You don't have a job, get a job. What happens if that was the rule? What happens if that was the law? I would suspect that there'd be a lot less single mothers out here. I mean, what do y'all think? So with that being said, Mark Wunderlich 2 times up in here. Salute to you, Nicholas Levy. Rod Neal, my brother. Amina, salute, sis. And I promise, baby, I did not forget you. I'm just dealing with a lot of stuff off this mic. I did not forget you. Cameron Fields, my sis, what's going on? I got your Cash App the other day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My brother Mind of Monster Musa in the building. Shaquilla Fields, salute. How are you? DP Rocker, Chris Chandler, Night Train, Derek Gaines, the legend. What's going on? We just getting started, good brother. Night Train, salute. Eric Jordan, Sam Mack, salute, y'all. Smash the like button. Let's get it started. Now, the young lady, I don't know how old she is or whatever, but that's the woman from her YouTube channel. Her name, I think she does Support Court, where there's couples in there, arguing over who pays child support and things of that nature. I'm sure you saw it. It's quite interesting. I don't know if it's rehearsed or do they have actors that are acting out actual cases? I don't know. Young Abel, salute. But it's an interesting watch. I'm subscribed to her. She's cool. She does her thing. She's very impartial. Learned a lot. I'm looking at that. So, yeah. So let's move this. Right. So I did some research on this. This is the ongoing thing, with child support and things of that nature. A lot of men. Oh, she wasn't a real judge at first. I didn't know that. I just find that channel very intriguing. A lot of intriguing cases on there. I don't know anything about her background. It popped up on my algorithm, and I was watching it. I said, man, this is crazy. I don't know if it was real or not. I don't know if she's a real judge. I know the outcomes are very interesting. They're very interesting. So I'm just throwing out this, what if scenario. Showtime Major, salute. What if there was no government assistance given to single mothers by choice? There's a whole movement, single mothers by choice, and they talk up why it's a good idea. I've heard pretty much all the arguments. Within that argument, okay, look, a lot of men say, hey, man, okay, I agreed to lay and play. Todd Swindle, salute. I agreed to lay and play. What I didn't agree to is to procreate with this chick. And a lot of men are like, well, look, laying and playing and making a baby, that wasn't part of the deal. Soul power, my brother, salute. That wasn't part of the deal. So why am I being held to this? And 100%, when the men go to court, they can't use that argument. Why? It's like, yo, what are you talking about? Why are you being held? You knew what happens when you lay and play. The potential is you'll probably make a baby. So the judge don't want to hear it. You know what the judge wants to hear? And I had a few of my buddies that's gone to court. They don't want to hear nothing you got to say. They don't want to hear about the background story. That's all television. They want to know, give me your pay stubs, how much you make. That's all they want to know. Sometimes, they've gone in there. I know one brother that went in there and he had to establish fraternity. Love is a word, salute. I'm sorry, I knew 3 brothers that had to do that. And one brother dodged a bullet. Baby wasn't his. That's I'll do a whole nother show of that. What if the baby's not yours? What do you do? Turn out the baby wasn't his. All right. But the other 2 brothers, they went in there and he was like, man, they might as well just yoked me up when I walked through the door and threw me on the floor and started stomping me out. I said, well, what happened? He said, they didn't want to hear nothing I had to say. You know what I'm saying? And how much do you make? Where's your W-2s? Where's your pay stubs? And they start doing math or whatever. You can't say anything. You don't think the baby's yours? Okay, I could petition the court for paternity tests. And, they were talking to him aggressive like he was the villain. He wasn't going in there beefing. He said, all right, let's just get to the business. And of course, based off of what he made and, man, he's all right now because his child is grown, and that's a whole nother thing. That's actually a happy ending. Well, all 3 of my friends, it's all a happy ending. Outside of my buddy that found out the child wasn't his. But it was rough. For about 2 years, it was rough for him. He had to make overtime, right? And guess what? It's a percentage. So really the overtime don't matter. You're really working for her, not even the child, for her. Because some of these chicks are unemployed. So this whole talk about women dating down, settling, because she makes $90,000 a year and he makes 70, and she's talking about dating down. What the hell have men been doing all this time? We've been the breadwinners, right? On average, according to statistics, men make more money than women. So were we dating down all these years? I'm just wondering, when did that change? It changed when women started acting very masculine. But even that's, it's related to this topic, but that's a whole nother topic. It's strange. It's strange out here in these streets, right? So, he just He's paying child support, but she needed more. Imagine your check being, damn, at that time, imagine making bi-weekly like maybe $1,900 bi-weekly. Imagine that. Now imagine you had to pay $1,000. No, I'm sorry, $2,000 every month in child support. Steve L, salute. Imagine that. That's $1,800 for yourself a month. You got rent, you got your own rent, you got your own utilities. You need to keep the cell phone on, or you know what I'm saying? And then when you get custody, you need to have, your cable on to entertain the child. Then you got to take the child out. You got to do things. Then she wants Christmas money. It's difficult. You might be able to pay your rent, but they're going to have to cut the lights off for about 8 days until you get paid. So she's seeing more money from you that you're seeing from your actual job, and she's not working. You're working for her. And the way the courts see it, because she gets custody, I'll never understand how it's the man that's the predominantly breadwinner. Which is why women, they come to court sometimes, oh, he's abusive. He's abusive. Now he's abusive, right? Fine. For some reason, this woman that's not working is the better choice for the child to stay with. For some reason. He's the breadwinner. He's making most of the money. Andre, what up? He's making most of the money. Or the money, period. He's more than likely living in a better neighborhood. He has the car. He has the better job. Court says, go live with the mother. When statistics show that single mothers raising a child is not as good as a single father raising a child or two-parent household. It's not as good. The statistics prove that. But the courts say, give the child with the mother, give the child to the mother, and you're going to pay for that kid because it's child support. But we all know the game. Now, I knew a few chicks that were on child support. They weren't working. I'm leaving my crib to go to work, and they just wandered around outside with the kid. After they take the kid to school, they just wandering around. It's like, what does she do all day? I go to work and come back like 10 hours later, and she outside. Like, what did you do all day? Did you even look for a job? And it runs out. You know when it runs out? That kid get a little older, less controllable. Now they want, you remember Boys in the Hood? Did she not have custody of Trey? And what happened when Trey got a little older? Furious, I can't deal with this. Come get this boy. He needed a father figure. Something I'm going to talk about tomorrow morning too on my boxing channel. Yeah, Chris, I mean, you would think the able parent is the parent that's working. But this is the trick of the government. It's a trick. They know that women have problems being single and raising a child. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's you're pretty much setting the kid up for failure. And plus, some of these chicks, these dudes, they don't use the best discretion when they're laying and playing with a chick. They're crazy. And now they're raising the kid to, hate the father. They got all that kind of thing. What happens is these kids, they actually grow up. And sometimes they snap out of it and say, yo, look, Mom, crazy. Didn't Eminem talk about that in all his songs he wrote? Single mother raising him to hate his dad. And then when he grew up, he figured out that she was the crazy one. He put it in the song somewhere. I was like, damn. You know how many people I know that came up and said, yo, nah, Mom was the crazy one. people I know of. Crazy stuff, right? Now, I'm not saying that all single women, there are exceptions to the rule. You know, the father is dead, you know, died in the war somewhere, doing something noble, had an accident at work. I'm talking about the women that choose. You laid and play, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm late. I'm 2 months late. You saw that Instagram video where these chicks went on a vacation out of the country or whatever, and they did their pregnancy tests on TikTok or something, and all of them were pregnant by dudes they just met in another country. And they were all shocked, and I'm like, wait, I hope this is a joke, because that's not funny. They are gonna raise losers. And who's gonna pay for them? You say the government, right? No. Listen, we pay taxes, right? Where do you think your Section 8 comes from, man? Where do you think these migrants is getting this money from? It's not growing on trees. When they tax my money, listen, I look at my check every time I get it. When I see that pay stub, I'm like, man, if I didn't pay taxes, Jesus Christ, man. How much money I make a month before Uncle Sam get a hold of it? I just look at it like, man, god damn. I wish I had all of that. But, you know, Uncle Sam got, you know, FICA, whoever that dude is. Got to put it in the reserve because, you know, we got to help the Ukraine or help migrants and help everybody else around this world, knowing that if we went to their country, they wouldn't do anything for us. But we got to get up and go to work every day. And on top of that, men get hustled in this country in the court systems. And when we say, hey, man, how come a man is never allowed to say, we say, well, while you're single, while you have a kid, you're not married. Well, she wasn't like that when I met her. Nobody's sympathetic towards us when we say, hey, man, we didn't know that she was like that. She just did a complete 180, and we don't get to say that. We don't get to say any of that. We don't get to say any of that crap. We don't. Women get to say it all the time. What happens when he tricks you? And no. All that has to do with you falling for a trick. When I see a chick with multiple kids and multiple baby daddies, there's something wrong with you choosing a man. There's a failure in your brain. But let's stick to the topic. If there was no government assistance to single moms who are single moms by choice, and I'm not talking about women that are single because of something foul happened to them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a chick that was unmarried. Like, let's say there was a criteria. Were you married? You're applying for benefits. Were you married? No. Okay. I'm just making this up as I go along. Is this a long-term partner? Let's say she lies and says, yeah, well, what's long-term? And let's say the government says, no, we deem long-term 2 years and over because we need to know who to hit up for child support. Now, let's say this was a one-night stand thing. She ain't gonna be able to find no dude to say, yo, you put your name on here. No, they're gonna garnish my funds. No. So now you can't lie. His name is not on a birth certificate. You spit the kid out. Now you're applying for benefits. So you was unmarried. Boom. Check. Get that out of here. How long did you know the person you slept with? And what's going to happen is now that, hey, I got a high body count, now they're going to be hush-hush about it. You can't, you know, like it used to be. There's always been women with high body counts. They've made it now cool to have a high body count. It's called being liberated. Okay. Good luck. That's cool. It's cool. Make the bed you lay in it. It's okay. So now she puts down, okay, 2 years. Okay, it's not that. I only known dude 8 months. Are you unemployed? If not, how do you support yourself? Who do you live with? Y'all know how these things go. So then you take that paper, you turn it into the appropriate parties, and they say, unfortunately, you don't qualify for benefits. Why? You slept raw dog with a dude, and I'm just using lingo that y'all can understand. You slept raw dog with a dude. You only known for 8 months. Our criteria is 2 years. Why? Because money don't grow on trees. Tay, hello? Money don't grow on trees. We're trying to garnish the person who knocked you up. We're not just going to give you money. We got other things we're doing. We're trying to deal with messed up infrastructure, and we're trying to deal with all of these things. We ain't got time to be cutting you a check. We want to know, why did you choose to procreate with a dude that you didn't know? Jeff Sparks, salute. Why did you do that? And once you put the mirror in front of them, that's when they'll think twice, like, yo, I shouldn't have did that ish. You right. Boxing fan times 4 in that super chat salute. He said, these women just think like men got the same needs. Yeah, listen. Before, women, they think just like men, if not worse. Let me tell you something. I've bounced at strip clubs. I told you, it messed me up for a while. I just got numb to seeing a bunch of naked chicks. You know what was crazy? When I bounced at the male review nights, women are the worst. I'm telling you right now. At the regular strip club, you have to tell the brothers, oh, chill, don't be hopping up on stage, chill, don't touch it like that too hard, don't do that, but for the most part, brothers will calm down unless they get a little drink in them, but brothers will calm down. The women at male review night, oh my God, women are the worst. They're the worst, hands down. Wedding bands and all. Sheila, salute, sis. Wedding bands and all. I mean, flat out giving blowjobs on stage to dudes that they're just performing. They're the worst. They're the worst. Hands down, don't tell me nothing. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. I was like, yo, what the what? What? Y'all want to know something crazy? They on stage blowing these dudes, right? Ready for this? You know how many of those performers were gay? But they were just stripping for these girls. Do you know how many of them were gay? I'm like, oh my. Blowing these dudes on stage. Girls in there going crazy. And I'm like, yo. I don't care if it was 2 degrees outside. I was always by the door. By the corridor, or literally outside freezing with my coat on. Like, yo, I ain't. Stick your head in and look. You're like, oh my God, what the what? Crazy stuff. I'll do a show on that. The difference between the men and the women, how they act in those clubs. Crazy. The women are the absolute worst. Absolute worst. Hands down. Don't want to hear it. Because I've seen it. It's like, yo, what the if dudes was in there doing what? You know what it is? And real quick, and I'm gonna get back to the topic. Chicks, remember when I talked about chicks invading male spaces? Remember I told you I remember the year where I started seeing chicks in strip clubs, and I'm like, they ain't gay. What are they doing here? And it was like, you know how they said when the terrorists, when they scope the joint, they go into the airport and they're real quiet looking around, then they ride the plane, they're just sitting there, they're not even associating, they're just looking around. They're casing the joint. They're doing test runs. I remember chicks going into strip clubs just looking around and like, what are they up to? And then they order food. 3 months later, they in there partying. And it's like, this is a male space. What are they doing here? What are they doing? And now the strippers are going to those chicks, making friends. And now they're not working the floor. The owner has to come and tell the chicks, yo, stop, work the floor. Stop making, come on, man. You ain't come here to make friends. You came here to make money, right? What the fuck? And you know what that did? That turned the dudes off. The dudes was like, man, they all over here. They supposed to be over here. You know, we got bottles over here. We trying to make it rain. And it's the sisterhood over there. They single-handedly destroyed business. They lost money. And then eventually they killed the whole club right here in the Bronx because of behavior like that. How do I know? I spoke to the owner. He said it was an ongoing thing. And then what happened? It was a combination of dudes just stopped showing up. More chicks were showing up. They were not gay. They were just in there partying. And it got to the point where they lost money. Because dudes were just like, yo, man, what the we trying to spend money, but they over there high-fiving. And then you go over there and grab the chick by the hand and they act like you bothering them. They were coming to work to hang out, not work. Shut down a whole club because of that behavior. And that's why you don't allow women to invade male spaces, because 100% they mess it up. There's been jokes about that. There's been cartoons about that. Do we go in their spaces? No. Anyway, I'll get back to my topic. Yeah, Shirley, you ain't missing nothing, because the things that I've seen. Anyway. So what if that application looked like how I explained it? There'll be a lot less single mothers. There'll be safer sex. Women will be more responsible. And there'll be less finger pointing at men. So let me pull this up. I'm gonna play the audio. Fair use.
One of the biggest decisions we can make in life is if and when to start a family of our own. Thanks to modern science and new social norms, more women are choosing to have babies later in life and on their own. CBS's Nikki Batiste goes in depth on the growing trend of women becoming single moms by choice.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Up against her biological clock, Tracy Kodak faced a tough decision at 39.
Do you remember the moment you thought, I'm going to have a baby on my own?
I do. I was with my best friend and I said, I don't have a partner. I need to be a mom.
Clarence, what's good, brother? Joe Townsend in the building. Salute. So y'all can hear that, right? She was with her friend and 39 years old. She needed to have a baby. Paul Carrick in the building. Salute. And that's what she decided to do, eh? Let's listen to some more. Fair use.
Emptied her savings to cover fertility treatments, ultimately using sperm donated by a friend. After 3 years of trying, she had Zola, 7+ pounds of pure wonder.
Then it was, oh my gosh, I'm taking home a human. And
hold on, let me bring that back for a minute.
Perfect. And I said, I don't have a partner. I need to be a mom.
She emptied her savings to cover fertility treatment.
Y'all heard that? She emptied her savings to go through fertility treatment. Josh, what's good? Son Moses in that super chat. Much love and appreciation, man. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you so much. Word up, Sheila, and I'm so sorry you went through that. I'm so sorry you went through that. Sometimes it's just not meant for that. But usually, you know what I didn't check? Adoption is always an option for people that can't procreate, but usually it's a couple, not a single person. Usually, I'm sure there are cases where it's a single person adopting, but usually it's a couple. I didn't look up the stats for that. Right? But did you hear that? She emptied her savings to get this done. It's not cheap. So she emptied her savings. She didn't, and it took them 3 years. Because that's the whole process. You don't just say, I want to, be artificially inseminated, and then you get a loan, and then you get it done, and then boom, 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 you have a kid. No, things have to match up. It's a process. And it's expensive. The average woman who makes less than the average man, they can't afford to do this. So all of this pumping up of being a single mother, it's expensive. And what are you doing? What are you doing exactly? Why are you undermining the role of a father? Well, let's see what happens. So she emptied out her savings. I want to make sure y'all heard that.
Ultimately using sperm donated by a friend. After 3 years of trying, she had Zola.
3 years of trying.
7+ pounds of pure wonder.
Then it was, oh my gosh, I'm taking home a human. And she was perfect.
Kodak belongs to the organization Single Mothers by Choice. Its 30,000 members are part of a growing trend, women having babies alone.
This is extremely ridiculous. Single mothers by choice. This is a growing trend. But then when we sat back and said, yo, America worked really hard in destroying the household. Women are sitting back arguing with us. I'm like, no. This is serious. Macados, Mac of the South, salute. This is serious. This is a problem. Oh my God.
Because they're tired of waiting for the one.
Oh wow, they're tired of waiting for the one. They're tired of waiting for the one. Do you wait for something, or do you go out and go get it? Maybe these women were never wives. This is whole argument about settling. I was just talking about it at the top of the show. Settle? What do you mean settle? Go get your education. Go make your 6 figures. But once you reach the top of your ceiling, once you hit your ceiling, and let's say you're a strong, independent 6-figure woman, you got your education, you got your doctorate, you have A1 credit, you got your house, you got your car, you legitimately don't need a man to depend on, right? You know what happens with women like that? Usually, you know what happens? No man that don't match their tax bracket is good enough for them. You don't believe me? Go watch Kendra G's show. What do all of those chicks say? I make 6 figures. He has to match my bank account. I like to up and travel. I like to do this. If you want to move and shake how you want to move and shake, that's fine. But didn't Kevin Samuels say black women want it all and they can't have it all? I'm just talking about black women right here in this example. You can't have it all. It's good that you got something, but in what universe that you've worked to have all of this stuff, and now you want a man that makes on or close to the amount of money that you make? Let me ask you a question. If you make $130,000 a year, how many hours do you think you work in a day? What do you do for a living? And I'm just saying $130K a year. How many hours of work do you put in a day? Just pick an employment. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to exclude business owner. You know why? Most business owners, there's 24 hours in a day. Some business owners will work all day. They only have like 24 hours in a day. They'll work 20 of those hours. They're always on their phone, their laptop. They have to go to their building. And if they own a conventional business where they have like inventory and they have to go checking over here, make sure the management is doing it, make sure no employees slip and fall, make sure they're not getting robbed, and they have, they want to buy this or sell that. They're working all the time. They don't have a moment to themselves. Now I'm going somewhere with this. If you own a conventional business, if you own a McDonald's, literally you might have to be at that one spot all day. The doors open at 6 a.m. Lunch starts being served at 11. You are literally there all day. You own it, but you're there all day. Y'all know business owners, conventional business owners, and even if you're operating online, the beautiful part, if you have an online business and you're doing well for yourself, you might be traveling, but you're always working. Laptops, like, how many people I've gone on vacation, I've seen them with their laptop and they're working. Hey, yeah, I'm in St. Martin, but I need 5 hours to do this. I'm working. Cell phone calls, tablet, this, that, and oh yeah, watch the kids play, but I'm working. You see what I mean? Now these women get on Kendra G's show or they go on these other dating shows. I make 6 figures. He has to match what I make. Because anything less than me is settling. Now watch this. What happens if that chick is making $130,000 a year? Y'all must have forgot. Salute. What happens if she's making $130,000 a year and he's making $140,000 a year? Did you hear what I say about the work ethic? If it's a conventional business, she has to go to the buildings and make sure everything is running and call the managers if she can't make it. Hey, is everything okay? Did someone slip and fall? She's on the phone. She's working because she's busy. So she ain't got time for the nonsense, right? Now what happens when she meets that guy that does exactly what she does? He has a conventional business or he has an online business and he's always on. When do they have time for each other? You see what I mean? You see? I hear the women say, "Oh, I can't do this no more. You don't have time for me." These chicks today are so busy, they don't got time for their man. And men are like, why would I want to deal with a chick that does what I do? That's crazy. I need her to have time for me. When I wind down 24 hours in a day, I'm out the house at least 15 hours. I come back, I want a meal, a small conversation, I want to go to bed because I got to get up and do it again. And on my 1 or 2 days off, then I'll give her a little bit of time. You know what happens today? These chicks watch the internet and they watch these things on TV. They get bored. They do what they do. And next thing you know, it's, oh, you ain't got no time for me. Excuse me. You see this house? You see these marble floors? I'm sorry. What? Do you think The Rock's wife is complaining? No. In the moment she even thinks about complaining, she looks at that house. She checks the bank account and sees those M's in there. Like, she looks on his desk and sees a ton of movie scripts. And then she goes to his social media and sees him flexing. And she's like, oh, I might want to shut the F up. Chick, you bagged The Rock. Though all 6'5", 280 pounds of pure muscle. He's over 6 feet tall with a 6-pack, a millionaire, and everybody in the world, even men want your husband. And you got him, and you procreated with him, and you look at that, you might want to shut up. Shut up. Y'all remember Eddie Murphy Raw? What did he say? He was like, yo, you giving these girls everything. He said, yo, your only job, remember what he said? Your only job is to F your husband. That's it. That's your job. F your husband. But didn't Kevin Samuels say these women want it all? If you're making boss chick $130K a year and he's making the same, and you're busy, he's busy. So either you deal with not seeing each other or something got to give. Because y'all can't be both doing that and then make a family. Because you know who raises the kids? The nannies. See what I mean? Now, we was talking about that the court support court show with that, I forget the young lady's name. I just read the chats, and I think Amina said she stopped doing her content because she chose to make a family. So she postponed what she was doing because she wanted to procreate and be a mother. But she put it down. I'm willing to bet, I don't know, do you think her husband is doing as well as her financially? Is she dating now? You see what I mean? See what I mean? Bossa Fan Times forward back in that super chat. He says 60 to 70,000 should be enough to hold down a household. It should be. It should be. But some people want the finer things in life and they live beyond their means. But, you know, that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Cameron. Yo, listen. A lot of people, they don't. Mr. What's good, man? It's crazy. Brandon, what's going on? Let's go back to this thing that they're talking about.
Or they simply want to parent solo.
You could do this all day, couldn't you?
Like Emma Ramos, mother to 2-year-old Michael.
If you had to choose one word to describe life as a single mom by choice, what would it be?
Can it be 2 words? I would say just like beautiful chaos.
As a teenager, Ramos dreamed of having a child, not a partner. Modern attitudes have helped make that possible. Today, more than 3/4 of Americans find single parenting acceptable.
78% find single parenting acceptable. How many of these men, in that 78%, how many of those are men? I'm just curious, man. And those men, are they, you know? ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel! 78%, did you hear that? Good Lord.
Although more support a 2-parent household.
93% support a 2-parent household. So I'm glad to see that. What the hell? Hold on, let me bring that back.
Parenting acceptable, although more support a 2-parent household.
That speaks to the misconception that we have somehow purposefully handicapped our children by, only bringing them into the world with one parent.
You did? What are you talking about? Family, this is selfish. Do you know why? Do you think that kid, when it reaches a certain age, don't you think they're going to say, Mom, what's up with Dad? How do you explain that? You're setting you man, imagine telling a kid I was artificial, man. I couldn't imagine that. Asking my mother, who's my father? Well, I was artificially inseminated. We know how to find him. You can find him if you want. We know who he is, but it's natural for a child to say, Daddy. At some point, they're going to grow up seeing two families walking down the street. Open school night, they're going to see a mother and a father. And that kid is going to be like, why can't I have a father? A mother's love is great. But there's nothing like love from both parents, man. Nothing like it. And if you're a product of a single parent household, I know Night Train, you sure did say that. Gnarly Ray, salute if I missed you. I can't imagine just sitting around on some, I don't, you don't want to even know where you come from. You don't know why you walk the way you walk, and you kind of look like your mom, but when you turn sideways, you look like someone else. You want to know why this is dangerous? What happens when that kid gets older and starts traveling and goes in an area where the father has family and he ends up banging the first cousin? That is not far-fetched. You know why it's important to know your people, man? Because of things like that. You don't want mistakes. What's her name? From TLC. She had to find her family, and I played that here before. And she said, man, she found her brother and her sister. And she was like, I'm glad I found my brother. She said, my brother's fly. In other words, she'd have gave him the kitty cat and then found out that was her brother. But she was like, I'm glad I found out that's my brother. Because in her mind, she's like, oh, he can get it. But now it's like, oh, that's my blood. Like, they have the same crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. This is crazy. You're robbing that kid of something that every child deserves. Because why? Waiting for the right man is not enough. You didn't do enough to for a man to court you. What was your problem? Because that's on you. I love hearing women say, well, God's gonna do this. God, okay, well, God helps those who help themselves. How many of y'all had grandfathers that told you that? God helps those who help themselves. You have to, champions first, salute. You have to put action into something that you want. The thing is, they never wanted to be married. They never wanted to be courted. And I don't know whether it's they didn't hit the gym or not. I don't know whether it was looking for love in the wrong places. There's something psychologically wrong with them. Ebony K. Williams, complete and total failure. And now she's a single mom. And I'm willing to bet what you don't see is that kid kicking her ass. I've seen women have complete meltdowns. It's so cute when they push the baby out and, oh my God, and they just crying and they can't help. You put the boob in their mouth, but you know what happens in 3 months? They get a little more aggressive. It's not, no. 3 months later, it's, it's like, oh my God. That's the baby? And they don't stop. They don't stop. And when that's their first kid, you don't know what you're doing. You're like, what the? It's 4 a.m. I literally have to get up in 2 hours. He couldn't have waited. Damn. Get the breast pump. Oh my God. Your wife is sleep on the couch with both the things on her. Literally sleep. It was crazy. And she's knocked out because she's tired. I'm tired. And the baby, I'm like, I gotta remove one. So come on. Okay. Attach. Milk squirting everywhere. It looked like a vitamin C, vitamin D crime scene. First kids was kicking our ass. And then what happens a few months after that? Now they want to start rolling around and crawling and grabbing shit. They're crawling on the floor. A kid will let you know if your floor dirty. You know why? They be crawling and then you see them do this. They're like, what is that? Everything is edible. So you're in the house and then you got all kinds of Disney on. You start knowing all the songs to the Fresh Beat. Y'all remember the Fresh Beat band? How many of y'all got kids that age? About maybe 14 years ago. The Fresh Beat band and the Backyardigans. I know all of that stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. You go to work and start humming that stuff and everyone will look. You'll know. They'll just look and say, yeah, your kid too. Yep. Coming to work with your eyes bloodshot. Can you drive today? No. I got fucked up last night. Those kids run your, oh my gosh. And then, they're in the crib, right? But now the kid won't stop. What do you got to do? It's either let them cry or get some sleep and just put them in the bed with you. Put her in the bed. And then when she starts climbing, oh my God. I be asleep and then I hear her. And then I feel a little afro. Or a scarf, or a human scarf with a diaper over my neck. And I'm like, there it is. And I just can't fight it. They can't just get in the middle. They have to lay over you. Like, damn. But I miss those days. I ain't even gonna hold you. Those are great times. Those are memories right there. And I shared them with who? My wife. What are these chicks doing it? By themselves. And those poor kids are gonna get up and they're like, Mom, where's Dad? And they're gonna have to explain science to them. Not that he went to Iraq and fought for, not something noble. He went to war and lost his life in there, and here's his tombstone. No. What's the next worst thing? Oh, he was on a street corner and, got shot, or he's in prison. No. You were a product of science. Science. To Marco, what up? So you know what I'm talking about, brother. You was a product of science. You have a father, but, I know where he is. You can go find him if you want when you get older. But he did this, and technically he did it like this because he don't want to be bothered. So my daddy don't love me? No. Now you got to explain that. Because these women didn't want to become wives. That's what it is, because wife means slavery to them. This is a whole bad, man, this is crazy. Let me get through this trash.
You obviously make all the decisions.
Mhm.
Is it a blessing and a curse?
Decision making, I would say, is a blessing, but then I suppose if I make the wrong decision, I'm the only one, to blame, I guess.
Just in time for this Mother's Day, Zola Kodak turned 11.
Having a single mom by choice can be hard, like when you're first growing up, but then my mom just wanted me, nobody else.
Oh my God, she's conditioned that poor kid. And you know what? What do you think she's raising that kid to do? To do what she does. She could tell her kid all she wants. Well, you can find a boyfriend. Well, Mom, you didn't do that. How are you going to tell your kid to do something your ass didn't do? Do y'all see the problem here? Good sister Cameron says the intentionality of the choices made by some women is disappointing and atrocious all at the same damn time. It is, man. Rodnell says she probably being more of a friend than a mother. Yeah. And it's going to get crazier because she's 11. Then she's going to be 14, 15, 16, man. And she has an 11-year-old justifying her mother's decision. This is sad. And now the mother's on here crying, y'all.
Everything I do for her. This house is for her, my job. It's all for her.
Two single moms living with their choices and their children and loving both.
I love you.
I love you too.
This is
Vicky
stupid.
Batiste, CBS News.
This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. You made a child because you felt you was incapable of love yourself. And I'm no therapist, but I know what I'm looking at. Single Mothers by Choice is a whole website. I think I read it from it before. Over 30,000 people. It's a group full of 30,000 people. That's what they said in this article. 30,000 single mothers saying it's okay because they're tired of waiting for the right one. Waiting. Ebony K. Williams thought she was above every man she was with except that white guy. And I might add, that white guy she was with already had children from another relationship. He was a multimillionaire. And I think they broke up a little bit after the pandemic or during the pandemic. And I think I don't remember word for word, but he may have gotten back with his ex-wife, which means he was just laying and playing with her black ass. That's all he was doing. You were just a plaything. And he checked all the boxes. High value man, right? Checked all the boxes. And when the pandemic was over, when it was done, he didn't want to deal with her. Didn't want to deal with her. And she says, "No, I want to be a mother." You remember what she said about men? Just check my shorts about her. She doesn't think highly of us at all, especially black men. And she got with a white man, and the white man ain't want her. I'm not lying. That really happened. She was on The View, and somebody tried to hook her up with her dentist friend, and I think he ghosted her. He didn't want to deal with that. Remember the situation? Remember she said she wouldn't date a bus driver? That was funny to me, because what do I do for a living? New York transit drivers, we're not broke. We're far from it. If you look in the mirror, our patch that says MTA right here when I look at it, but in the mirror it says ATM, because people think we're rich. And, you know, we got bread. We got bread, but it is what it is. So, I forget the woman's name, but she put her in her spot. She said, no, what do you mean? Ebony K. Williams' net worth is in the millions. I promise you, if we're in a social setting and I just get dressed up, I could totally bag her. And I don't care. With you a bus driver? Yeah. But look at me. I physically look better than any millionaire that you would pursue, that you would entertain. Yeah, I make six figures, so what? It's blood money though. I have to work hard for it. So yeah, you're highly educated. You're more educated than me academically, because there's a difference. There's a difference. You're academically more educated than me. I know you have a preconceived notion about black men. Don't know where that came from. You know, I'd like to know what her relationship is with her dad, but that's another topic. But yeah, I check all the boxes physically. I'm a handsome man. I'm over 6 feet tall. I have a six-pack. I'm not a bum dude. And let's just say I was single with no children and I work for transit. I check all the boxes. What do you mean? My credit is great. Let's say I was my age and single and childless. Let's just say that. Now what? What's the problem? I don't make enough money for you? For you? You have your own money. Why are you worried about what I do? I'm a productive black man. I don't have a criminal record. I ain't got no baby mamas all over the place. I check all the boxes. What is your problem? Oh, you just can't date a bus driver. Cool. And what's the end result? Artificially inseminated. Because the white man that checked all the boxes financially didn't want her. But there's 30,000 knuckleheaded women in this damn group talking about they're tired of waiting for Mr. Right. How much you want to bet at some point in these women's lives, Mr. Right was right there in their face, but to them, there was something wrong with him. His glasses was too thick. He wears a lot of red shirts. I don't like red. Oh, he has a pot belly. Oh, he's in the mirror longer than me. Whatever the case is, I don't like the car he drives. Oh, he's cheap. He tried to take me out for coffee. I don't do coffee dates. I was trying to go to lunch at a 5-star restaurant. I bet you get a lot of that. Whenever you hear a woman saying, hey, man, you know, I'm waiting for Mr. Right, man, get out of here. Because you know what, ladies? When you're right and you know how to be a wife, men just gravitate towards you. And if they're not gravitating towards you, there's something about you. And I'm not saying you should change who you are. If you're comfortable with who you are, then that's just what it is. But don't tell me you're waiting for a husband and you haven't found him yet and you're my age and older. That's crazy. You mean to tell me from the ages of 18 to like 50, no man tried to court you? I bet you if I dial it back somewhere in your line in the last 30 years, I'll find some dude like, yo, you know her? Oh yeah, I liked her, but you know, took her out. She wasn't interested, and I tried to, you know, she just wasn't interested. Well, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work here. How much you make? Well, yeah, I only make 80,000. You know, well, yeah. Single? Yeah, I'm still single. You know, I live over there. I got a 2-bedroom. You know, that's my Toyota outside. It'll be a good dude. A good dude. But these women today will find something wrong with a guy, and then when they get 50, these women, I ain't showed the article, but these women weren't lookers. But I do believe that there's somebody for everybody. I do believe that. They weren't like drop dead gorgeous, but they put priorities in front of marriage. And this is what Kevin Samuels was talking about. It's okay. Do you, but you can't have it all. When you put your career in front of your marriage, you made that choice. Don't sit back and say, oh, now I'm ready to be a wife, and you 40. And I'm not saying it can't happen, it can. But you effed off all your 20s, it's effed off. And don't tell me you were celibate all that time. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Unless you're born again or whatever, you know, don't tell me you were from the ages of like 18 and now you're 40. Okay, I'm ready to be a wife. And you may not have any children. There's women that make it that far and don't have no kids. But now you're ready to be a wife. And there have been several dudes that were trying to court you, but you was about your business. And that's fine. Live with that choice. But what I don't like is 30,000 women talking about, I want to be a single mother by choice. That is the ultimate FU to the world. It's an FU to society. You setting these kids up for failure. That little girl is not going to know how to deal with male authority. You think that woman, and here comes that word, you think that little girl by the time she's 18 is going to understand what it is to be submissive to a man? You think she's going to understand that? You think her mother's teaching her that? No, because her mother doesn't know how to be a wife. So when she's with a boyfriend, granted, I mean, hopefully she's straight, and he starts doing certain things and saying, yeah, you know, I want to, you know, go here, we're going to go here. And she starts giving resistance. Well, I don't want to do that. Huh? Fellas, how many times, fellas, when you invite a woman out, aren't you supposed to have everything together, what you're going to do, like a whole itinerary? Because women, and I learned this as I went along. My pops told me I ain't listen, but hey, what you want to do? Well, you offering to take me out. You're supposed to have this together, man. I was like, ooh, okay. Lesson learned. But what happens when he says, yeah, you know, I'm going to take you here, whatever. I don't want to do that. Oh, right off the bat, she's not letting him lead. Okay, we're gonna play this game today, but you know what? This is the first and last date. I'm being nice, still taking this chick out. And then she goes home. Tommy won't call me anymore. Why? Ghosted. And the mother won't be able to explain it. You know what the mother will say? Well, Tommy wasn't the one for you. You know why? Because 35 years ago, she already met her Tommy and didn't know how to handle him. So now she's telling her daughter to do what she did. You see that? What happens when these single mothers raise boys? That's a whole nother thing. Raheem, salute, man. Anthony Bolton, salute. Yeah, Anthony, we ain't even gonna talk about Cynthia G. She was a living and walking contradiction, a ball of anger that needed therapy. And I'm glad she's off of YouTube, because that was disgusting. Especially when we found out, wait a minute. She hates bandits, and who is she impregnated by? A bandit. Oh, she's angry. We ain't have to lift a finger. I found that out. I said, I ain't got to say nothing about her no more. I did a live stream about her. I said, Cynthia G, we didn't do it. You did this. Talking about deleting, if you're pregnant with a black baby boy, delete the pregnancy? Huh? Did she delete her baby boy? This is a woman that has a baby boy, y'all. But that applies to all of you sisters except her? Pay attention to who you're listening to. Y'all love to say, oh, Kevin Samuels, he was divorced twice or whatever. Yeah, he has a daughter. Yeah, oh, right. You ripped Kevin Samuels because you didn't like what he had to say. But y'all ran over to Steve Harvey and Derek Jackson and all these other dudes because they was giving you that feel good. Both of those dudes was full of crap. Kevin kept it a buck, and he didn't start this conversation. He's echoing things we've been saying for decades. And now we're here. Women that can afford it. This woman in the article emptied out her savings to become a mother. A fatherless household is what she created. Let me give you the term. Okay, watch this. Undermining the importance of a father. There's something called vengeful father syndrome. It occurs when a parent deliberately tries to place the other bad parent in a bad light and harm their child's relationship with them. Okay, that's the thing. That's a real thing, y'all. A common technique of parental alienation, PA, is undermining authority. This elevates the alienating parent in the child's eyes makes it more difficult for the alienated parent to care for the child. Undermining authority can be done through a variety of methods. Right off the bat, what you guys need to know is that those single parent households that are created, they won't know what it is to deal with male authority. They won't be able to deal with it in the house. They won't be able to deal with it at school. These kids will be talking back to male teachers in school. It's crazy. Listen, I'm just going to tell you flat out. My wife has to talk to the kids. She's the authority. And she generates compliance. But sometimes, they're at the age now where it's like, it could wait, all right, it could wait. But let me bang in that room. I open that room up, I snatch the door, I shake it, it's a little technique. I shake it, I fling it open. Why ain't this room clean? And they stop. And I could hear their heart beat in their throat because they don't know what's going to happen. I never raise my hand at those kids. You know why? I don't have to. Because the fear of it possibly happening is very real. Now, she has that same power, but it hits different when I break in that room. Why ain't this clean? What are you doing? Say nothing. Gets the cleaning. That's it. If it's not done, you already know what time it is. Do you know that's also a father's love? You want me to prove it? How many of y'all in the chat can laugh about an ass whooping y'all got from your dad? It was terrifying when it was happening some 40 years ago. But you look back, and not only do you laugh about it, but you're like, damn, you know what? I really did deserve that. Look, Sheila laughing. You see what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Terrifying when it happened, but you look back and you're like, man, I deserve that. That was crazy. Listen, I put my dad on the spot all the time. Like, yo, you remember when I did da-da-da-da-da, and you came and you had that white belt? And he'll do just like this. You want to know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? Watch this. You know what he said to me? And this was years ago. Me and my brother know all about that giant white belt. And he was sitting down and we was laughing and joking about at a cookout a couple of years ago. And he was just sitting down, he was drinking his ginger ale, and he says, let me ask y'all a question though. Now, my sister was the youngest one, so she never saw it. But he stopped us one day. He said, let me ask y'all a question. He said, what? How many times I hit y'all with that white belt? Zero. Never. Never did. Never did. And I said, holy shit. That's genius. I know to do it. I got this thing where I go in there and I start clapping really like, and it'll scare them. They don't want to get hit by that. Never put hands on them. And now they're at an age where it's like, you know, not going to act out now. Because you get to that age where you're too old for ass whoopings. But you don't want to test the waters because you're not going to get a little tap on the ass. This dude might punch you in the face now. They're at that age. So they don't want to go that far. When I start clapping my hands, you know, black people, we clap out every consonant, every word. I told you to clean that room. Honor. You know how we get. And I clap loud. I got big hands. Yeah. Genius. But you see, those are the times you respect. Now, mother's love hits different because there's been times where I've gone there and I spazzed on the kids and they're in there. And then wife got to go into the room. Do you understand why daddy did that? Yeah. Because you know daddy works hard and you know he got to go to work and you're supposed to have this done. You don't want to see that, okay, baby? So can you do it? Yeah, see? She got to clean it up. And what do you do when you don't have that? That's dual work. Didn't that woman say it's a blessing and a curse? She said something to that effect. You're making your life harder and you're making your kid's life harder in the long run. Because they're not going to understand male authority. That's what I meant by it. We do things different. What happens when these women got to be in their masculine all the time? Sometimes they don't know how to turn it off. They feel that they got to be the man of the house because they're the only ones running the house. And then when they do go out on a date, yeah, what's up there, Jack? How you doing? Say, whoa, huh? You gay? Oh, gotta turn it off. That's because you're out here doing it all by yourself. You shouldn't have to. You're waiting for the right man to come along, man. This is ridiculous. You're undermining a male authority out their womb. You just don't need us. Now, what happens? Now, these are women that are doing it by choice. But here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. What happens when there's no government assistance? I'm bringing it back to the show's topic. What happens when there's no government assistance to the women that got pregnant by accident? None was planned. They're unmarried. And now there's no government assistance. This woman emptied out her savings. They work. And it looked like they were living pretty well. It looked like that. But what happens when these women are living in the projects, when these women they're on Section 8 and they're trying to get on Section, what happens if they say, you know what, we could save millions of dollars by not paying these fools? We got more money to give to the damn migrants if we stop paying them. How do you stop those births? Stop paying them money. Stop. She's in the projects. Her rent's $2. This is her 5th kid. Wasn't there a chick running around on TikTok bragging about she's on Section 8 and she got like 5 kids from 5 different baby daddies? and her oldest is 18 and she's showing him how to milk the system. Oh, you can get all this food. Let me tell you something about the food you're allowed to get. You know what the migrants are complaining about? The quality of food they're getting. Because in their country, what little they do get is still healthier than what we got here. They're taking their EBT cards and saying, oh, you can't buy the produce, but you got to get the food out the can with all the sodium in it. You got to get the Takis and Doritos and the quarter waters and dollar waters, whatever they are. You got to get all this garbage. Welcome to America. But see, when you're American, that's how y'all eat anyway. That's why you see these skinny chicks in the projects with monkey boobs, a gold wig on their head, funky eyelashes, but they're skinny with a pot belly. They're skinny with a pot belly. And it's like, what is going on? You look like that alien from Men in Black. Remember those aliens that be in the office? Looking like that. It's like, well, what kind of figure is this? Oh, EBT, somehow she found the way to get Hennessy in her house. So she's drinking, smoking, skinny with a pot belly, with monkey boobs, and got a few kids, and the government's paying for this. What happens if they cut her off and say, yo, look, this is your last month? You're walking around all day. Yeah, you can get a job. You can work at McDonald's. You're going to have to, because we're tired. You got all those kids, but why did you do that when you're not married? What happens if they make the law saying if you get married, if you have a child out of wedlock, this would be crazy. What if there was a law saying if you get married if you have a child out of wedlock, the government's not taking care of that child? Because some of these chicks don't even know who the father is, but they get all this public assistance. What if they say that? Now, I know it's impossible. They ain't going to make no kid starve. And what if they say, oh, look, for you to eat, if you feed that kid, you better get your ass to the food pantry. But we're not giving you no EBT. Nothing. And this is how we're going to jog the economy, because we're going to send your ass back to work. Hello. Go to those job assistance programs. All right. This is what you do as a single mother. You had a child out of wedlock. Cool. You are to go to a job placement program, and they're going to give you a nice little job. You're going to be working 30 hours a week. And with that check, that's how you feed yourself and your child. What if they started doing that? I promise you there'll be a lot less pregnancies. Something else I looked up. And this is all fantasy. I'm just saying what if, y'all. The amount of money made from child support varies by state, and some states use child support funds to pay for programs like TANF, or as general revenue. For example, in 2020, Texas collected over $4.8 billion in child support, which was more than any other state. Jesus H. Christ. Exactly, Miss Fields. Exactly. Texas, you clearly don't want to make a mistake in Texas. California is like the worst one. For divorce, forget it, man. Forget it. Is any of this making sense? 4.8 billion in man. But when I go to blackdemographics.com and they talk about 58% of all men are living above average and they're childless. In other words, Flatboy Plays, salute. In other words, men are becoming more responsible, not only black men either, because what we have going on in our community, although a lot of it was driven by racism in the government, all of that stuff, you find that white men have been dealing with it too. Men worldwide, especially in America, and I think the UK has the same problem. They're like, you know what? There's no benefit to marriage nowadays. You stay together for about 2-3 years, she gets bored, she takes you to the cleaners, and it's over with. It's over with. And these chicks, they're the ones that have the attitudes that do a 180. You marry this chick and she love you, and the next thing you know, I'm bored. Zion Williams, whatever that overgrown baby is in the NBA, He married an Instagram thought. He knocked her up. He's like 22 years old. She's like 38. She secured the bag, got pregnant by that dude. Bag secured. And they're together now. You ain't heard nothing yet. Give it a minute. 2026, 2027. God willing, we're all still around. Watch. 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 Yep, Anthony Edwards, that idiot. Now, by the way, just curious. Who are their OGs to tell them to watch out for that? Now, I know some of these dudes that get a little money, they might have OGs. When I say OGs, I mean men. They might have men in their lives that say, don't do that, but you get a little money. They can do what they want. They're on Instagram. I get to bang her? Yeah. Knock this chick up, bag secured. Bag secured. What does a 40-year-old woman want to do with that kid? Make a baby. And she kept it. Had a baby shower and all that. What does she do for a living? Audacity Podcast, salute. What does she do for a living? She's an Instagram thought. I went to her gram, her butt's all out, and he knocked that up. I don't know what kind of season he's having. So far, he seems to be one of those guys, to me, because I don't watch the league like I used to. One of those guys, to me, if he keeps his weight under control, he's going to have a powerful 4 or 5 seasons, and he might turn an ankle or turn a knee, and he might get bounced around, and he ain't going to be worth much in the next decade. That's going to be the end of it. But guess what? She's still going to want her money. Ridiculous. $4.8. Oh my God. In Texas, $4.8 billion in child support. Meanwhile, we still got homeless Army veterans. Yeah, exactly. Sean Kemp. I've been knew about him. That was crazy. Homeless Army veterans. I mean, just homeless people, period. So there's people in the state of Texas, and in unison, they've collected $4.8 billion. Yo, listen. You know you could take not even 5% of that money and fix the pipes in Flint, Michigan, which, by the way, is still messed up. Our priorities are all messed up. So when men get on here and they say, yo, dudes, be careful with your penis. Stop sleeping with these girls. It's not worth it. They're looking at you as a meal ticket. $4.8 billion in child support. Not all of that went to the children. I promise you, the courts are seeing a percentage of all that money. Do you know that? This is big business. Fellas, stop giving your money away. I literally watch these shows where a dude be like my age or a little younger, talking about, yeah, you know, I don't have no kids. I've heard chicks say, oh, that's a red flag. Why don't you have no kids? Oh, was careful with my cock. Why do you have so many kids and you ain't been married? Oh, because it's not about marriage. It's not? Okay, next. Pop that balloon and, you know, flick a booger at her, whatever it is you do. Get out of here. Get out of here. Something else I read here. Do the states make money off of child support? Some states use child support funds to help you. Okay, I read that. Charlie Sheen had to pay $110,000 a month in a total of 2 women. Recently, Denise Richards allowed him to lower his payments to just $22,000 per month for 2 children. At the same time, he's paying $55,000 to his ex, Brooke Mueller. Y'all know Don Cornelius? Don Cornelius. Died in 2012, and I'm not laughing. Let me read this to you, because I'm gonna tell you what I heard. Around 4 a.m., February 1st of 2012, police were called to Cornelius' home in Los Angeles in reports of a shooting. He was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head and was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at the age of 75. An autopsy found that Cornelius had been suffering from seizures during the last 15 years of his life, a complication of a 21-hour brain operation he underwent in 1982 to correct a congenital deformity in the cerebral arteries. He admitted that he was never quite the same after the surgery, and it was a factor in his decision to retire from hosting Soul Train in 1993. Cornelius' health took a further sharp decline in the last 6 months of his life. Former Soul Train host Shamar Moore suggested that he may have also been in the early stages of dementia or Alzheimer's disease by this point. On the night of his suicide, Cornelius told his son in a phone call, I don't know how much longer I take this. I want you to listen to this. October of 2008, Cornelius was arrested at his Los Angeles home on a felony domestic violence charge. He was released on bail. Cornelius appeared in court in November 2008, was charged with spousal abuse, and a witness filed a police report. Cornelius appeared in the court again December 2008 and pleaded not guilty to spousal abuse. He was banned from going near his estranged wife, Russian model Victoria Avila Cornelius. Victoria Chapman is her American name, who had obtained 2 restraining orders against him. In March 2009, he changed his plea deal to no contest and was placed on 36 months of probation. You know what I heard about this situation? Xavier, what up? Louis Henton, Auntie Jenny, salute. She said if there was no child support, women would be nicer to men and there'd be less single parents. Exactly. PGA, salute. You know what I heard about the Don Cornelius situation? You know what I heard? His wife, his Russian wife, calls the police on him and he gets locked up for DV. He lives in Los Angeles. You know, we're wrong no matter what, right? Heard that was a lie. You know what I heard? Now, I can't confirm any of this, but I heard he deleted himself. Heard he deleted himself. Oh, Word Night Train, you knew him? Or his son, Tony. I heard, and I can't confirm any of this, but I heard that he deleted himself rather than to give his wife a portion of his estate. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Might not be. I don't know. But did y'all know he was having those problems with that woman? Now they're saying his brain wasn't the same and he was Alzheimer's and all this other stuff. I can't confirm any of that. He married a Russian model, y'all. Next thing you know, he kicking her ass, allegedly, right? Believe all women. Y'all do what y'all want with that. Three reasons women pay less child support than men. Well-established legal standards determine child support and child custody during divorce. The practical relationship between the two, along with social and cultural perception, may cause people to wonder why women pay child support less frequently and in fewer numbers than men, while specific reasons apply for each family. Several financial realities explain the disparity. Child custody, lower pay. Okay, they talk about child custody. Child custody contributes significantly to child support. The parent to whom the court did not grant sole or primary physical custody contributes to a portion of income for the child's basic living expenses. The court sets the amount based on the various income models along with other factors and special considerations. Special considerations. Come on, man. What is a special consideration? Though Florida ranks above the national average for single father families, single mothers run more than 3/4 of the single parent households and serve as a custodial parent by a ratio of 6-1. Lower pay. Economic realities provide a second reason why women pay comparatively less child support. Single mother families live in poverty at a much higher rate than those led by single dads.
What?
How's that, boss chick? There it is. Also, non-custodial mothers earn less than half as non-custodial fathers. Wow. So we make more money. Men make more money than women. With all your degrees and all of y'all being in school. That was my last live. All these women in school and all this other stuff. You're going to school, you get your degrees, you leave college. Now watch this, y'all. Well, let me finish reading this. Because continual financial and emotional stress create a cycle that reduces the overall support single mothers can afford. So now they're factoring in stress, emotional stress. They take a woman's mental. They factor in what she's going through mentally when they make these decisions in court. Or that huffing and puffing, oh, I can't find a job, or this job I have ain't paying no money. They factor in all of that. We can't go into court and be like, oh man, I'm going in between jobs and all. Yeah. We take 75% of your shit. Goodbye. Nobody feels sorry for us. They don't feel sorry for us. Now, for that conversation, what do you bring to the table that pisses women off? Now watch this. You got your degree. You graduated from the one of the best universities in America. You got your degrees on the wall, and you're actually going into the field you got a degree in. Congratulations. You sit down with a man that's trying to court you, and one of the things he needs to know before he marries you is, what is your debt? Everyone in the chat should know what I'm talking about. Because once you marry that person, what are you doing? You could have A1 credit. Your middle score could be an 810. Your middle score could be an 810. Your outstanding debt is only a $3,000. You done knocked it down. You become the best version of yourself. And now you're sitting across from her and you ask her, okay, she looks the part. She looks great. She smells great. She's beautiful, has all her teeth, and she has a degree, and she's going into her field. And how much debt you got, baby? Ooh. Well, you see that doctorate I got over there? I better be a doctor, because that degree cost me $110,000, and I'm only paying back minimum. So I ain't gonna be done paying that back for about another 15 years. Well, what's your credit? Ooh, credit. Middle score is a 520. So what do you bring to the table? Debt and bad credit. He can't marry you like that because he's trying to buy a house. They factor in y'all as a unit. You see what I'm talking about? And that's not disrespectful. That's reality. This is life. Tom in that super chat, much love, man. Everything's good, man. Good to see you, good brother. Oh yeah, Auntie Jenny? Single mothers in Barbados with multiple side men. Interesting story. My best friend is Bayesian. And he told me some things. My best friend is Bayesian. He told me some things about that island. So I believe exactly what you're saying. He has a cousin that's a product of his cousin. They live in the States now. His cousin is a product of his aunt's BS. And his aunt later in life is now recognizing, I could have did this better, could have did that better. But y'all understand what I'm saying? So when I see this article on ABC, single mothers, it's a whole movement. The website, single mothers, single by choice, 30,000 strong. Because they're tired of waiting for Mr. Right. Excuse me? You know what the reality is? Just me and you in it. The reality is all 30,000 of those women did not qualify to be wives. That's it. That's it. I don't care if it could be a number of things. Your credit's bad. You're a lesbian. You don't know how to be a wife. Whatever it is, you don't see value in a man. And because you don't see value in a man, because you didn't want to fit, because all the men are wrong. It wasn't you, all the men are wrong. But you have the finances to get this procedure done safely or whatever it is. Fine, cool. Now what's the problem? You're gonna have to raise that kid by yourself. And now there's gonna be some kids running around dealing with my sons and nephews. They're like, what's wrong with her? Well, she cute, but ask her what her relationship is with her dad. He go back and ask, next thing you know, she throwing hands with him. Like, whoa, what happened? I don't know, uncle. I just asked her, yeah, tell me about your father. And she gave me the slow movie stare, like, dun, dun, dun. And she started throwing hands like Roy Jones, lead lefts and jumping left hooks and what? I don't understand. You just asked about her dad? Yeah, she don't know who that dude is. She's a test tube baby. Test tube baby. Remember that? Auntie Jenny says, I was a single parent, and due to the rejection of me from society in the 80s, I had one child and kept my legs shut. I got pregnant on the pill. Shame needs to be brought back. I need more women saying that, because when men say that, we're misogynistic and chauvinistic. Did y'all see that clip where that woman... What's that dude's show? The white guys. They're sitting down and they always bring these women in and they just have real discussions. And he played something and she said, I think that's misogynistic. And he says, what's misogynistic? Can you define it? And she started crying. And she said, can I go? He was like, you want to like leave the show? And no one's holding you here. He just asked her to define misogynistic, because something that he played on there, she referred to it as misogynistic. It had nothing to do with being misogynistic. And he was like, well, hold on. The whatever podcast, that's what it is, Kane. And he said, well, define misogynistic. And she started crying. Whoa. Listen, part of the male commandments. Y'all remember my male commandments? They're all labeled number 1, because this is shit that women should know. Let me tell you something. On my male commandments, number 1, crying is blackmail. It don't move me. If I ask you a question, don't start crying. That's stupid. Just say you don't, man. Just say you don't know a word when you've been using it. It's like Every year, I hear a new word used to describe men. When did they start calling us narcissists in abundance? It was like a little after the pandemic, right? 2020. He's a narcissist. Next time a chick tells you that in your face, you know what you do? I'm what? Spell it. And just fold your arms. Spell it. And narcissist. I rest my case. Thank you, Auntie Jenny. She says she never cries in front of a man. It distracts from the conversation. It's on the Whatever podcast. It's on YouTube. That shit went viral on Instagram. I said, is that for real? What's wrong? He just asked her, what is misogyny? Do you know what that means? Fucking ridiculous. I was like, man, spell it. Let me see if I have it up here. Yo, I have it right here, y'all. I have it right here. Don't play with me. You know what? I'm going to save it for another show, y'all. Drew's Male Commandments. I'll review it again because I did it on the show before. Auntie Jenny says, imagine if men cried when their feelings are challenged. Man, we'd be walking around with dog collars around our neck and women would be just abusing us. It's funny because women behave like the men that, you know, when I was coming up, the girls I was growing up with, their parents was telling them to avoid a certain type of man. And now these women today, these modern chicks today, are behaving like the men that I swear to God parents was telling their daughters to avoid. Thank Father, salute. But, you know, enough of my yapping. This is bogus. If government assistance wasn't given to single mothers who were single by choice, when you decide to go through the pregnancy or whatever, and you decide to have sex out of wedlock, right? With a bum dude or dude you ain't never gonna see again. These are your choices. If you had to fill out an application, one of the things that they started asking is, are you married to the father? Do you know who he is? Put down his name and address. How long were y'all together? If y'all weren't together at least for 2 years, we're not gonna hit him up for anything. If they stopped rewarding women for making babies out of wedlock, it would stop. It would stop. It's crazy, man. But I'm going to cook on leadership tomorrow. Yeah, I'll cook on that tomorrow. It's going to be a boxing topic, but it's going to get real deep. And I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings, especially the young men with no fathers. Because this show is actually going to spill into what I'm doing tomorrow morning. Because too long, fathers have been undermined. And with the help of the feminist movement and, this is disgusting, man. It's like, remember what I played for you the other night on The View? When they were talking about men are useless, but she saw value in her gay friends. I mean, these are two married women talking that crap. I mean, this is disgusting, man. But if men disappeared off this planet, just if we were gone and we went somewhere else for 2 years, 2 years, all the men left, and there was only women here, in 2 months, society would collapse. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. There'll be a handful of women that'll be about that life, about ready to handle business and do things necessary to survive. The other half, they'll be fighting with them, and they'll be like, oh my God, I finally see what men are going through. Quick story. I saw a woman on the gram. Let me know if y'all saw this. And Mark Kendall, salute to you in that super chat. He said, we live in a day and age where misandry is socially acceptable. And holding women accountable equates to misogyny. Big bro, how do we do? Mad love, man. I appreciate you, Mark. At this point, Mark, you know, what I find is men today, we're pointing out the discrepancy and we're saying, okay, this is why we're moving the way we're moving. We see you, and this is why we're moving how we're moving. You can complain all you want, but this is why we're moving how we're moving. Done. Done. Absolutely done. They don't want to be bothered with broke dudes, and we're making $80,000 a year, $100,000 a year. That's not okay, fine. Because we're bums, right? Watch this. They went and got their passport. They had a problem with that. Huh? You know what it was? Their foodie calls. Realized that they didn't have to stay in the United States. Give me a second, bro. Hold on. Their foodie calls realized they didn't have to stay in the United States anymore. That's what they realized. So now that's a problem. What are they going to do? And it got so bad that they started attacking foreign women. Filipinas, remember that? You can do no right. There's no pleasing these women. It's crazy. So when the men have complied, that's not enough. Exactly, Auntie, exactly. To be masculine is a crime now. So what men have done is we've kept our penis in our pocket and we've complied, and that's still a problem. But you know what? You deal with it. Because you know what I'm finding? Women have to be masculine. They're smoking more. They're on more medication because they're stressed. Blood pressure's higher now. They're dying. Before, women on average lived a lot longer than men. No, I heard, I didn't look it up yet. I've heard, I didn't look it up for myself, but I heard they're catching up. They're dying sooner now. Heart disease. They're already, there's more overweight women than men now. This is crazy. And instead of getting to the root of the problem, which is fixing yourself, you're blaming men so much that you want to be single moms. Okay, great. I saw this thing on Instagram. They upload TikTok videos. You know what this chick said? She said she was talking with a male friend of hers, and he was like, "Man, I just hate dating now. It's horrible." And she was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Yo, can't find no chicks to date." She's like, "What are you talking about?" She started a profile as a man. You know what she said? She says, "I'm depressed now." I'm looking at this thing like, what? She says, "I'm depressed. All these matches, I find these matches with these girls and I'm doing everything right. Then all of a sudden at the last minute, they ghost me, they bail on me." She said, "It sucks being a dude." Do you remember the show I did with the lesbian chick that lived like a man? And she was doing like an experiment, a social experiment, and she lived as a man for like I forgot how long. Remember that show I did? What happened to her? And my brother Drip, in a super chat, much love and appreciation, he said, it's the food. Yeah, of course. It's the food and it's them overeating in abundance. It's crazy. But yeah, she was writing a book, right? What happened to her? Do y'all remember what happened to her? I did a show on it. You remember what happened? Tell me what happened. Boom. That's what happened. She was only a man for what, a year? And when she revealed herself, dudes were just saying, "I mean, you were cool and everything, but we just thought you was gay." In other words, they said, "Okay, she says she a dude, but you know, he's a little phlegmy." "Oh, you're really a girl. Oh, that's great." And then after the social experiment, you know what she did? This. So that's further proof that women, even when she gets down like that, when she likes other women, she's not equipped to be a man. Being a man, exactly, Drip. Being a man was depressing for her. So I'm looking at this chick on this Instagram thing, and I say, oh, she's depressed because she's acting like a man just to see what he was talking about. So she jumped into a male space and she can't deal with it. What did I say about what happened to these male spaces when you let these women in? They bring down the quality. A whole male club closed down. A strip club closed down because too many chicks started going in and partying. Offset the whole thing, and dudes was like, yo, we're paying money for the fantasy that this woman loves me or likes me or whatever. I'm paying you, I'm paying for drinks. And now these chicks ain't even coming over to us. It looked like a high school prom. No, a junior high school prom. You go to get in there, and instead of dancing with each other, the girls on one side of the lunchroom and the boys in there, because they don't know how to mingle. You don't figure that out until high school, but still this is somewhat separated. In college, you're supposed to go for it. But you're in a strip club. Everyone's good and grown, and dudes are standing there with money in their hand like, yo, why the girls over there high-fiving and eating hot wings or whatever? Went in there and fucked it up. Stop this, man. So, if you remove government assistance from single mothers by choice, at least in Texas, there wouldn't be $4.8 billion collected in child support. And we could redirect that back into society somehow. Instead of saying, we're going to pay these chicks for child support, we're going to pay them child support, just say, yo, look, Americans, let's put together an active fund. Let's raise taxes to get our veterans mental help, get them some housing. Let's raise a little taxes so we can fix the pipes in Flint, Michigan. I don't mind paying taxes if it's fixing the infrastructure and taking care of our Americans. I don't mind that. But don't tell me you got dudes paying. Bro, the government said no government assistance for you, Fuquisha, because you had a child out of wedlock. And you only known that dude 8 months. No. What we will do is give you a voucher to go to a job fair, and you will be working sometime that week. Do that. Make them, no government assistance. You're gonna go to work. Do that. Then what? Man, these chicks will be on the IUD and the pill. Get out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat, man. Much love to all of y'all, man. Y'all make the show. For real, for real. What the fudge? Yo, Drip, you here? You still here? Yo, did Eric Adams get indicted? Hold on a minute. Yo. The FBI's been busy. New York City Mayor Eric Adams indicted after campaign corruption investigation. And that super chat, he said, bro, in 10 years, most government subsidies and become privatized. Check NYCHA, yeah. Oh, shoot. Yo, for those of you that don't know, Eric Adams is our mayor. He's a former NYPD lieutenant, right? He was a lieutenant, right? Hey, bro, this is bursting at the seams. This is crazy. Do y'all know what's going on in my city? The commissioner, yo, this is some movie shit. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get out of here. The commissioner he had to resign because the FBI is investigating his ass. Straight out the movies. You know what happened? And look, I'm just gonna give y'all bits and pieces. He was shaking down clubs for liquor licenses. he has a twin brother that was doing it. They're identical twins. This is something out of a movie. I knew he had a twin brother. I knew that. But when they were on the news and they said, nah, not the dude, there was a black dude was like, yo, he was shaking me down saying I can operate my club with no liquor license, but sell liquor, but I have to pay him like 5 racks. It was something like that. And I was like, what? He was like, no, not the commissioner, his brother. And they put up a picture of them side by side. I said, oh, his brother. Ooh. Hey, yo. Can I share something with y'all though? You know what they're gonna say, right? They're gonna say that's when you put these niggas and spics in charge. Got a Latino and the mayor's black. And what did they do? They let all these migrants in, and now, remember where Eric Adams was trying to say, yo, Drake, you remember Eric Adams was saying, we'll give you money if you got space in your crib to put a migrant family in the basement or somewhere to house them, and we'll pay you for that. Excuse me? What? Double-edged sword. Yeah, 125 a day. Double-edged sword. These people that are here illegally, they could be rapists and murderers, and you want us to put them in our houses? And watch this. You could be the rapist and murderer. And this could be one of the good people that came from wherever they came from. And now you done sent them to Jeffrey Dahmer crib. Excuse me? And now everyone's getting indicted. The commissioner, the mayor, this is a... Bro. I'll see y'all in the morning, man.
Good night.
Love y'all. Keep it blessed and take it gently.